All right, so let's get into this game. And the line has moved up to 13.5. The over-under is only 45.5. So that means Vegas is expecting this to be an Eagles blowout and the Panthers to not really score many points. Good news for the Birds. Devontae and Darius Slay are both playing. We know that Reed Blankenship is out. Dallas Goedert is officially on the IR. He'll be eligible to come back for the last game against the Giants. Sidney Brown is not playing. We've talked about that this week, how that leaves them a little bit short at safety. We may see some, unfortunately, Avonte Maddox. Tristan McCollum is getting the start, so excited to see what he can do. He played well in relief the other day against Baltimore. But how do the Eagles win this game? What are the three keys to victory? And I've been saying it all year. KeyBank, car dealership. Somebody want to sponsor this segment? I'm open for suggestions. But on paper, this is a mismatch in every sense of the word. Panthers are near the bottom in both rushing and passing defense. Eagles, top rushing team in the league, or if they're not the top rushing team, they're number 2. Offensively, the Panthers have struggled. They benched Bryce Young. Bryce Young is back. He's played better since he's been benched, but there's just, on paper, this is a rout. Like, it's not even close. They have been playing well recently, though. They played well against Kansas City. They played well against Tampa Bay, both teams that have playoff aspirations. And the Eagles can be caught in this game, coming off the big win against Baltimore, looking ahead to the big matchup against the Steelers. I know they're both AFC teams, but it's one of those things that you want to play better against the better teams. It's human nature to get up for them. Now, they've been saying the right things all week. Nick Sirianni has done a phenomenal job during this winning streak of getting them ready, but they need to be careful in this game. So what do they need to do to win? First and foremost, I've been saying it for weeks now, get off to a fast start. They need to score in the first quarter. They need to jump on this team early. Don't give them any hope. Let them know they're in for a long day and just kind of hit them full throttle. Impose your will on this team. You can't let this team hang around because they've been playing well. They have the confidence, and if they think they can hang in there, and we talked about this earlier in the week too, this is the part of the season where some guys who are going to be free agents next year are looking to get some good stuff on tape, so they're going to play hard. But I think you're a far superior team. Get off to that fast start and just let them know, not today, not today. Second key, and this is two of the strengths so far this season of the Eagles, dominate both the offensive and defensive lines. Carolina is the worst rushing defense in the league. So pound the rock and spread them out. They also are the worst passing defense in the league. So use the running game, pound the rock, open it up for AJ and Devontae. With Devontae back, that should open some things up. But you got to just dominate up front. Defensively, put some pressure on Bryce Young. This goes back into the first key of getting off to a fast start. Let the Carolina Panthers know that this is going to be a tough day. Jalen Carter, just be Jalen Carter and disrupt everything. Make Bryce Young miserable. He's given up before. That was Anthony Richardson. Never mind. But he's been benched. So, I mean, let him know that we are the superior team. So just dominate offensive and defensive line. And the third one, there's been a lot of Super Bowl talk this week about the Eagles being a Super Bowl team, people talking about making reservations for New Orleans in February. Guess what? Play super this week. Play like a Super Bowl team. Dominate this team. Don't let up. Don't give up late garbage touchdowns. Don't give this team a chance. If this team is a legitimate Super Bowl contender like we think they are, they should dominate. Put your foot on their throat and don't let them back up. And honestly, like I said, if you think this is a Super Bowl team, you believe you are a Super Bowl team if you're the Eagles, play like it today. historically, for as long as I can remember, going back to the old NFC East days when the Cardinals were not that good, the Eagles have always struggled and played down to the competition. They did it all the time with Andy Reid. They've done it somewhat with this team, Cleveland this year, Jacksonville. Don't play with your food. If you're a Super Bowl team, play like it. Leave no doubt. Play like you are. Have the people on ESPN and Fox Sports and all those places talking about how you are just as good as the Detroit Lions. So what does that mean for the pick? And not going to lie, 13.5 points is a lot of points. This is definitely a different team for the Eagles than we saw at the start of this winning streak. And I believe that this is a Super Bowl team. I think they showed it. They went toe-to-toe with the Ravens in their house and thoroughly dominated them pretty much. The Panthers stink. They absolutely stink. And against my better judgment, I know the Eagles can be caught looking ahead. I know this is the quintessential trap game. I can't see the Panthers even being in this game. I think we're going to see a complete game from start to finish from the Eagles. I think you're going to see a lot more passing from Jalen today. I think Saquon could run for 150 yards against this team. I just don't see no way that the Panthers can hang in this game. Even if they get off to a slow start, I think the Eagles are that much better that it's going to be like how it was against Dallas and the Rams and the Giants and those teams where we pulled away late. Give me the Eagles minus 13.5. I actually do like the over in this game as well. 45.5. I think the Eagles put up 30 themselves. I think we're going to see the complete game. I expect to be on the subway midway through the third quarter, heading home to some hot Italian roast beef sandwiches that I'm putting in the crock pot here in a minute. Give me the Eagles minus 13.5. That is the official play. We're 7-5 on the year. Let's make it 8-5. Let's continue this Super Bowl talk and look ahead now next week for the Steelers. Now, could this be a close game? Absolutely. I struggled. I went back and forth all week. At 12.5, I was all for the Eagles. When I saw this morning, it was 13.5. Gave me a little bit of pause. But, I mean, if you really look at it, and again, you can talk about on paper and the stats and all of that all you want. On paper, the Eagles will dominate this game. But I just think this is a focused team. I think they're all the talk, they hear it. As much as they don't want to admit it, they hear it. Everybody, now that the Lions won on Thursday night, they're like, oh, the Lions are back. They're the best team. I think this team comes out and finally does what they should have done against Cleveland, what they should have done against Jacksonville. I think we talked earlier this week about the game back in 2004 when they put up 35 on the Packers before halftime. I could see a repeat of that today. Give me the Eagles minus 13.5. That is the official pick. And the question of the day, let me know your thoughts on this game. Who do you got? Give me a final score prediction. 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line. Give me your predictions for this game. Give me your breakout stars. Who do you think is going to be the GOAT of the game? All of that is fair game on the Back to the Future excuse me, voice and text line. And again, I think fast start, dominate both lines, and play like a Super Bowl team that everybody thinks you are. And this should be the Eagles in dominant fashion.